All glory, all praises, all honor be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to Allah Akim doing pushing his word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. Now I want to get into this movie. This is his movie, okay? In his movie, you're a pawn and an actor, okay? And he has given abilities to read the movie to certain individuals, okay? And we could read, we have the director's cut, okay? That's why the scriptures talk about knowing the midst of times, the beginning and the ending, okay? And we have that through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yoshai. Okay, this is why we are prophesying, okay? Because he has given us spiritual gifts, okay? Those are abilities that we have that the rest of the world, they don't have, they lack, okay? So let's go into something real quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. Okay, spiritual gifts, okay? Coming with those spiritual gifts, you have the ability to prophesy. You have the ability to hear. You have the ability to see. You have the ability to understand, okay? These are gifts that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has given unto us and not the rest of the world, okay? So we must occupy in these gifts, because occupying in these gifts that the Lord has given us will lead us on to salvation, Lord's will, if we continue and stay therein, okay? Building up and abounding more and more within this faith. So I want to get into this scripture also. 1 Timothy. Hey, come in. Slakia. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and 1. Slakia. 2 Timothy, I think it was. 1 Timothy 4 and 1. Slakia, 1 second. No. It's 1 Timothy 4 and 14. Slakia, 1 second. Hey, inside. Slakia. So continuing, 1 Timothy. Oh shit. 1 Timothy 1 and 1 Timothy 4 and 14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. Okay, now going back into this, neglect not the gift that is given thee. Okay, those things will lead you on to salvation. Okay, because the Lord is coming to do damage in this place. He's not coming to hand out candies. He's not coming to, you know what I mean? He's coming to look for his elect, and he's coming with destruction. So the gifts that are given unto us may lead us on to salvation if you stay therein, and continue within those things. Because the Lord said, if you continue with these things, you shall never fail. Okay? And it's going to lead us on to what? Salvation. Salvation from what? That impending doom. That doom day. Okay? Doomsday. All right? So continuing in this, part of that spiritual gift, let's go to Matthew chapter 13 and 16. Yep. Blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Remember, the scriptures tell you that they have eyes, but they see not, and they have ears, and they hear not. So part of these gifts, these spiritual gifts that was given unto us, the Lord is working with our spirit to give us the spirit of understanding, to know, okay? To receive these things, to be able to, be of one of quick understanding. When the apostle elders are reading out there, the brothers who have those spiritual gifts, they're of quick understanding, okay? Proverbs chapter 8 tells you, all the words of my mouth are plain, and they're plain unto him that have understanding. Let me get this real quick. Proverbs 8 and 9. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing forward in them. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge. Okay? That's part of those gifts. And knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know what I mean? Being able to dive into these scriptures and understand what the Lord is saying. Okay, because remember in John 16:13, howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will show you things to come. Okay? And that's all having the spiritual gifts from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All day long I have stretched forth my hand to wicked and gainsaying people. Okay? Roughly phrasing. Because they don't have the gifts. Okay? Romans chapter 11. These are the ones with the gifts. Romans chapter 11 verse 7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Right, because they were given those spiritual gifts. Okay? They were given the energy to continue on to the end, endure on to the end, serving Yahweh Hashem Yahushai instead of selling out. That's a high class individual in the eyes of the Lord. Meaning that's a well-tuned individual. You know what I mean? Somebody who was put through the fire, who was refined, rejected all the world's gifts and presents, read the scriptures, understood that, look, this is temporal. This place is going to be destroyed. It is better for me to walk mournfully before Yahweh of hosts than what they said. They said, what is it for us to walk mournfully, before Yahweh of hosts all our days, right? So they got the fear of death on them. But we, with these spiritual gifts, we know, hey, sacrifice this life in which you're living right now for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and, you're going to be a part of that governing body, man. Okay? And all the ones who have that spiritual gift, they're going to be led on to, that governing body of the house of Israel. Okay? So, what do you like that? But, hey, this is part of the movie. Okay? Some, you're pawns. We're actors in this movie. Some are going to come into this truth, be fully, convinced within themselves, yeah, this is it. I'm going to do this on to my death or the return of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and they're going to leave. Okay, that was their part written in the movie. Right? And some are going to come in, understand the truth, and continue on to the end. And that's their part of the movie. Hey, the scriptures also say deceive and the deceiver are his. So some of these camp leaders are deceiving many people too. And that was their portion. That was their lot. You understand? And like I said, this is his movie. Okay, he's the one, directing. All right? He written it this way. Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 1. The preparations of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from Yahweh. Okay, is from Yahweh. All right? The preparations of the mind, okay, in man, and the answer of the tongue, all that coming from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So he's directing. He's written that in the movie. Whatever you go out there and you curse somebody out, you curse your mom out, you get in an argument with somebody, you're devising to go steal from somebody or whatever. All that was written in your movie. In your script. Okay? And the Lord has given us the ability to see and understand. All right? Because, hey, let's go to this real quick. Matthew chapter 10 and verse 20. For it is not ye that speaketh, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. So when we're out there breaking down the scriptures and giving you this, what's about to happen and all these things, right? Prophecy, that's the Spirit of the Lord that's within us. Because 2 Corinthians or 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and 10 tells us that, but Yahweh have revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searches all things, yea, the deep things of Yahweh. So that's also part of the gifts, to understand the hidden wisdom, as it says here in verse 7, the mysteries, right? Matthew chapter 13, verse 9 to 11, it says it was given you to understand. Those are part of the spiritual gifts, okay? And you need not to neglect them. You got to be out there prophesying, teaching people, putting up lessons. That's a part of your lot. That's a part of your script that the Lord has given unto you, okay? Slacky, 1 second. The Lord has given you that ability to do that, okay? And, the rest of the world, they weren't given those gifts. So, happy are we, okay? For we understand. So, going back into this, 1 John chapter 19, lambing back off the Matthew 10 and 20, is not he that speaketh, right? This is to show you that all your actions, everything that you're doing, your tongue, your actions, everything. John chapter 19 and verse 10. Then said Pilate unto him, Speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have power to crucify thee, and have power to release thee? Yahushua answered, Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were what? Given thee from above. Therefore he that have delivered me unto thee have the greatest sin. Okay? Main point, you could do nothing against me except it were given thee from above. Okay, so that has to be written into your script, into your movie, which proves that you don't make a move. It's the Lord making you make those moves. Okay? Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 9. A man's heart deviseth his ways, your mind, right? But Yahweh directed his steps. Okay? So a man may think to do this or think to do that, but it's the Lord who's really guiding you. Which hence, going into Job, if that's the next scripture there, yep, Job 33 and verse 15, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instructions, Salakia, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man. Okay, so the Lord may have put a thought in your head the day before to wake up the next day and go buy a car or something, and then next thing you know, you wake up, you get a phone call for work, and they're like, hey, you want to make some money? You know what I'm saying? Come in. Bam. You know, the Lord had you go off. Instead of buying the car, you were thinking the day before, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. The Lord had you get up and go to work. Okay? And shit, maybe you forgot about the car. But that just proves that, hey, it's the Lord that sealeth your instructions, okay? And deviseth your ways. The next day, this day, whatever day it may be. Your whole fucking life, okay? And these are, part of spiritual gifts, the abilities to know and read this movie is coming from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. He has given us ability to read the movie, okay? So, last scripture here. This just goes into show you that there is no free will, as these people say. Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 21. For the ways of man are before the eyes of Yahweh, and he pondereth all his goings. You see that? For the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord. Okay? And he pondereth all his goings. So he's the one who's setting your route, your daily route, weekly route, yearly route, until you drop. All right? And, he has given us the ability to read this movie, which is a part of those spiritual gifts. Okay? Which, Lord will, it would lead us on to salvation if we continue therein. Right? So, in his movie, you're a pawn and an actor. Ain't no free will, none of that bullshit. Okay? And this movie has given certain individuals, the 144, okay, he has given ability to read the movie. He has given us, Lord will, that we be of that number, the ability to read the movie and pronounce it right, see from the beginning to the end. Just like the scripture here. Let me get this real quick before I go. Let me add this in here. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 17, for he have given me, actually, you know what? Let me go to 16. For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also, and knowledge of workmanship. So the Lord is telling you right here, not just us, but even 2/3, okay? In his hand are both we and our words. Everywhere that we're going or anything that we're speaking on the highways and byways or putting up on these videos, the Lord has devised that. This is how the movie is written, okay? All wisdom also and knowledge of workmanship, and that's on to us, because these 2/3 they don't have that knowledge. Going back into 1 Corinthians, chapter 2, at the princesses and the kings, and if they had a known, right? But they don't know, Okay? For ye have given me certain knowledge of things that are, namely, to know how the world was made, Genesis 1:1, and the operations of the elements, the beginning, the ending, and the midst of the times. You see that? So those are part of the spiritual gifts that the Lord has given us that we shall not neglect, okay? Because it leads us, we're on that road to salvation. Salvation from what? Impending doom, the day of doom, okay? So in his movie, Lord will we be of that number, you know, Lord will we continue on to the end, you know what I mean? To be a part of that number, to be a part of the governing body, right? Lord will, but it goes to show you ain't no free will. The Lord is the one who directs your path, the righteous and the unrighteous. Remember, the deceived and the deceiver are his. So, hey, just a little short one. With that, all praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim doing and pushing this word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. I hope you're edified. Lord willing, to the next time. Abad Babal. Shalom Akim.